G'day, Doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. It's another Bulldogs Rising Stars player watch, and it's Sosaia Alatini. What an absolute prospect of Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs have brought into their development system through their pathways. He come across in 2023. I'll put some of his information down. It'll be scrolling down the bottom. You know, he's only 18 years old. He's 188 centimetres, weighs about 101 kilos. He's Tongan. He plays second row, really looks like a genuine second rower. But as you know, these second rowers can also end up in the front row for Canterbury. And he's played a fair bit of prop, obviously being a big boy and very well developed. His favourite player, Hamali Olakawatu and Britton Okora, two second rowers, two different types of second rowers too. It'd be if he can get the best from those two players into his game, I'll tell you what, you got someone who's running great lines and someone who's an absolute beast in attack and defence. You know, his goals, he's obviously NRL, but he just wants to play good footy, loves footy, and he's just doing all the little stuff to keep himself fit and healthy. And that's such an important thing. He's working at the same time. He's at Savlaki Boys in Marrickville. You know, I lived in Marrickville for a while as well. So, and he's still working out what he wants to do after footy, and the Bulldogs will definitely help him with that. Raised up in Manjeri, and he's an only child. So obviously he's from New Zealand and Auckland with a Tongan background. He went to Southern Cross campus, St Thomas of Canterbury College. And then over in Australia, he's been going to Patrician Brothers Fairfield, which is fantastic for him. He started playing at the age of 12, and he has actually represented in both rugby union for the schoolboys over there and also in rugby league for the schoolboys. So he's been in this doggy system since 2023. We've got highlights of him playing last year and this year. They're a little bit blurry, but they're still good. You can see the great work that he's doing in attack and defence, and why the Canterbury Bulldogs have put him on a 3-year deal in the top in the development list, which means he's eligible if need be. If he's earning that right and he's ready, he can play NRL, being in that development squad, which is for this year and next year, and to go into the top 30 in 2027. Some real good faith shown by the Bulldogs, and obviously, you know, they expect to see someone who is going to be pressing for NRL, and a lot more, hopefully, is what the goal is. And he's a great kid. He's obviously just focusing on the day-to-day, keeping himself fit, getting himself ready to play NRL, and most of all, just enjoying his footy. And you will see that in the highlights. He is definitely someone that has, you know, a heap of potential. It's great to see a player out there that's just ripping and tearing in all parts of the game. And as second rowers in Canterbury learn, that's a very demanding position. You have to be fit. You have to get to work. You have to be supporting those smaller men on your outside to ensure that, you know, you're taking time away from that opposition's attack. But with the ball, you've also got to be that focal point to try and strip defenders away from your attacking players. And then when you get your opportunity, you cause havoc. And he is doing that every single time he gets the football. So we're going to have a look at that in a moment. There's some advice that he would give to kids that are looking to get into rugby league and trying to, you know, develop their game. And it's a really good bit of advice too. Hard work beats talent. When talent doesn't work, just work harder. So there you go. And I think the Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs thrive on that mentality. And that's what we're seeing. We've had plenty of talented players come and go through our system. It's the ones that get to work that, you know, we tend to love the most. The ones that rip and tear for the boys and for the club and put it all on the line. And that comes through hours and hours and hours of discipline and training, and it all starts at a very young age. And Sosaia wouldn't be on a 3-year deal if he wasn't demonstrating all of that. So let's get behind him. He'll be playing in Rod Massey Cup today. If you haven't watched that, definitely watch it. By the time you see this, it would have been over, obviously. But, he'll be playing in Rod Massey Cup in different games. He'll be playing in Jersey Flegg. And after having that, campaign in SG Ball where they made the finals and did pretty well in a very, very tough competition, beaten in their semi-final match against a very strong side that could go on and win the comp, which we will have to see. So let's have a look at some of his highlights. So here's these highlights. And this is from last year. So you see him with the ball. First contact in defence, doing all the right stuff, running off Mitch Woods here. So he's just a threat every time he's got the ball. Runs good lines, hard to hold out. Loves scoring tries, as everybody does. Good contact, gets to work. Formed a great combination with Mitch Woods, as you can see on that right edge. There he is again, just causing havoc, copping a high one. Gets the bounce and off he goes under the posts. Oh, pretty close to it. Again, running good lines, so hard to handle. Accelerates into the contact. And he looks like a big threat for the offload constantly. Back through the middle of the ruck to score a try. Great work there. Down the right edge, just off the one-off pass and too much speed. Absolutely galloping away to score. So this was the SG Ball side last year that made the grand final. They did get humbled a little bit. And it's funny because they've just purchased another guy from the Dragons who played in that game. So the future is looking very bright for our edges with some of the best up-and-comers there ready to show their wares. So he's taken first hit up off the rock. And look how deep he ran from there to get the footy. And he used his footwork before the line. Great footwork then. He's just more great lines, in and out. Get excited, people. These are our juniors. They're out there fighting for their careers and loving their football. Beautiful pass on the inside. Like that's a footballer right there. And we're seeing that. Just the ability to, at speed, throw a ball like that is great. It shows the skill. And that's why he was selected to play both, versions of rugby union and rugby league, and from New Zealand. So not too many dual internationals at any level will you see. This was in that grand final, I'm pretty sure. And we fell well behind, but a really good try there. He's just got great balance as well. Great offload. Very, very impressive. He absolutely smashed the bloke, and that's what made that pass go forward. Offload there. Oof. Wow, there you go. So we'll watch another one now. That was from 2024. This is his highlights from this year. So you see there will be a bit of soft commentary coming through. And there's also, I think there'll be some Ron Massey Cup games and SG Ball games here. Off the hit up. Wow, straight over him.
Gets up quickly.
Burst into the contact for that one. This is in Ron Massey. Just really hard to stop. Great hit there. Forces the ball free. So you can see, like, from last year to this year, he's definitely working on different aspects of his game. Just always in support. Great back up there. Absolute handful to look after. Oh. What a beast. Play on. No,
Will Rosenbaum. I was just wondering where the support was.
They're watching in awe. Here's Gow.
Great defence.
That's right. Short. Catch,
They didn't rush out, didn't panic and commit. Waited for the player to hit them and bowled at him.
Go, 2. 7, 8. 16's out of play. 12, stand up. Hold.
Beautiful hit.
Man off the leg.
He steps up for the Roosters. That's what's the Bulldogs Roosters highlights for the young man.
Move off the leg. Yeah.
He just setting us up off the next play.
Further points in this one.
If we're watching the next play after he
finds his second rower, Alatini, and he cracked. And he'll play just inches away from the try line.
How important this is
short ball, but met
the next
just as
what a
equally. Slow play of the ball.
So he's doing it in
good hands there.
With and without the ball.
Out the back he goes.
Great step.
Good break there from the Bulldogs.
He just stepped past 3 players. Sent them all in the wrong direction.
Two up their sleeve. They go themselves from dummy half. Inside play from dummy half. They crash over.
It's horrible.
They're over beside the posts.
You need a good player to do that.
Cowling. Oh, he had runners there.
Oh.
Alatini bounces and then.
So they don't like running at him.
Woods.
I can tell you that much.
Alatini. Hit it on the wing.
Plenty of games with really good
Hayward, who went off very early. Alatini's done some
the
work in defence.
in.
Now he gets his opportunity with ball in hand and Sosaia.
I think that was in the SG ball semi that we actually end up losing. But, did a fantastic job in that. And just so good to see. So good to see. He's played in some games where, look, he got a go in Jersey Flegg last year as well. As a young fella, he would have been 17 last year. So to be playing that level at that age is pretty damn good. And he's just an absolute beast on the field and someone that's got a lot of respect amongst his opponents as well. So, look, hard work beats talent, and when talent doesn't, work harder. Couldn't have said better words myself. And just privileged to be able to share the stories of these great young kids and get behind them on their journey, hopefully to their NRL dream. But if not, they've already done a remarkable job. But I think the Bulldogs are getting pretty good at knowing which talent's going to hang around and which isn't. And he is demonstrating all the, you go back and you watch the Satili Tupanuas and the Jacob Prestons and, you watch all these young emerging players, although Satili's sort of, 26, 27 now, but you watch them from when they emerge and, you go back and you see a player like, you see what Sosaia's doing now in that grade, and you just know that they're going to get to those heights or get pretty damn close to it. Injuries are always a big drama, but to get that 3-year deal is going to help protect against that as well. They know his potential, they know his work ethic, they know how hard what a great kid he is, and the Bulldogs have got themselves a future star there. So, definitely get behind it. If you're watching Bar TV, go watch the Ron Massey Cup games. Follow these kids. Get excited about them. You know, if you see them at a game or anything, say hello to them, get their autograph, make them feel like $1 million. And, you know, and get down there to Marrickville, to Savlaki boys, and get some food there. All right. I'll tell you what, that's pretty much it. I'm excited, privileged to be able to share this little story on Sosaia Alatini, and looking forward to doing more of these. So get behind it, like and subscribe, all that sort of stuff. And thank you so much. Go the Dogs.